I'm Laura Bartow from Studio One Stampers, and I want to welcome you to my 7th in a series of Celebration 2022. Celebration is coming to a close at the end of February, and these products are still available with a $50 purchase. So let me show you how cute this driving by stamp set is. It's an adorable stamp set with sayings and beautiful little vehicles that just make a happy, happy time. What I've done is I've paired this with one of my very favorite celebration items, and that is the Sunshine and Happiness designer series paper. Just the bright colors made this such a great celebration for birthdays or just about any day. Well, let's get started and I'll show you how simple and easy it is to make these adorable driving by cards. Well, Celebration is coming to an end at the end of February 2022, and then these stamp sets will all be gone. Oh my goodness, I've had so much fun playing with this driving by stamp set. It's a great stamp set for just a black ink pad and some coloring. And I just want to show you the cute things that I came up with. Here are these two adorable cards, and I think they just add so much fun and joy to a birthday celebration. So I've also paired it with the Sunshine and Rainbows designer series paper. That's also a celebration item, and that's going to be going away as well. The stamp set has 3 different vehicles and 3 different sayings in it, so it's really good for all kinds of wonderful celebrations. So let's get started with this one first. I just love this little old-fashioned sports car, and we're going to stamp that on our little piece of basic white cardstock, and I'll be using the Memento ink pad. This is my just favorite go-to ink pad. It just is so good for everything, and we're going to be using this with the colored pencils, so it's a perfect stamp to be using with our watercolor pencils. I've chosen the assortment number 2 with our watercolor pencils, and that's because the colors go really, really well with this designer series paper, especially having the bright blues and the granny apple green, a touch of yellow. So all of this really goes well with that. So let's go ahead and color our car real quickly. I'm going to be using the granny apple green. When I do my coloring, one of the things I really like to do is I like to sort of outline the shape first. And that is including the door as well as the bumper and the piece there. So I really like to give a nice solid color to that shape, and then I like to just kind of fill in, and I always want to sort of color in the direction that I think the piece should go. For this car I want to do horizontal coloring, and then go ahead and just kind of emphasize and then add a little bit of shadow at the bottom here, at the bottom of the door, the bottom of the fender over here, to give it that sort of rounded look. So that's all I'm going to do for that. I'm going to grab my Coastal Cabana, I think is my next one, and just add a little shading right here for the windscreen or the windshield, and add a little bit of that onto my bumpers and headlights. I'm going to go ahead and get my crushed curry here, and I'll add that yellow for one of my balloons and a little bit of one on the headlight. And of course I want to color a little bit lower, a little darker at the bottom for our shadow for our balloons. I'll add a little bit of the Flirty Flamingo again on this balloon, making it darker where I have that little shadow line on there. Go, and we'll come again with our Night of Navy. So that's actually going to be colored very lightly, looking more like a bright blue than a navy. So we'll color that very lightly, even though that's a dark color. And that gives us our blue. Highlight that a little bit. And I'll come in here with some Cajun Craze to add some colors to our wheels. There we go. And a little darker at the bottom because the shadow, a little darker underneath the edge of the of the car up here. And I think that's all we need to do for coloring for this cute card. So let's get a little bit more stamping done. We're going to add our little greeting, our driving by just to say hi. And we're going to put that on a piece of Granny Apple Green cardstock. Good, good, good. That's just what I wanted. Now it's time to just kind of put the playful pieces together. And what I've picked for this design is the designer paper just sort of undulating, going back and forth, because that also gives an extra playful feel to the card. So we'll go ahead and put the base piece down. This is Misty Moonlight, and I'm just going to tuck this piece of striped paper. I love the way that looks with just a little bit of color peeking out behind that piece. So I'm going to go ahead and get this piece down, and this piece is going to get tucked in kind of at the same time. I sort of like to have it ready to go and sort of tuck it at the same time and kind of put that down. So that's just what I want. So I've got it centered sort of, it's a little bit smaller, so I've got it centered up and down, and just so we've got it tucked in there so it's straight. There, that's just what I want. Then we'll go ahead and just place these pieces of designer series paper. There's 3 of them, and they're just going to go and do what I call a Z line across like this. So they're just going to kind of have that sense. And what I love about that little feel is that it really looks like movement, and that's what we have for this little car that's driving by. We have a sense of movement, and so I want to kind of emphasize that with our design. So I'll start by putting down the polka dot one, and that's just going to go kind of on the angle there, and then we'll put the pink one here. This is Moonlight Madness, and then we'll put the green one here at the bottom, kind of looking like that might be the ground or the grass. And I'll put a couple of dimensionals behind both my greeting and my car, and that's all that we'll need to do to get this cute, cute little driving by card all finished. Pull these off. There we go. All right, so let me put the car down first. And I'm going to position that. I want it to be straight because I think that really accents against my designer series paper. And then we'll just pop this piece right, oh, I think right about there. That looks really good. And there we go, a cute little driving by card. Well, let's move on to our next card. Set that aside, and here it is. It's a cute little happy birthday card, and it features the beetle card, when it's just kind of a retro feel to us. And let's go ahead and put this together. Now, I've gone ahead and done my coloring and stamping already. I stamped this with the Memento black ink and colored it with my colored pencils, the same palette that we used on the previous card, that assortment number 2. So I just have that layered, and these are the layering circles dies. I use those constantly. And let's get our greeting together. This is actually the happy birthday from the Special Moment stamp set. This is another celebration offering, and this comes with a $100 purchase. But this happy birthday is just one of my absolute favorites. So I've had such fun with that. I'm going to go ahead and do a flag on the end of this, cutting into the middle and then cutting from the edges right to the spot there. And that gives me a nice even flag. And I'll do the same thing here, cut to the middle and then just cut that off. There we go, and that gives me that cute little flag look. And you can probably hear my kitty cat in the background. It's time for her to play with these cards too, I guess. So let's put the designer series paper onto this piece of Magenta Madness designer or cardstock, and you can see I've used the back of this one as well. This paper is so cute. I think one of the hardest things for me is to pick which side of the paper to use because it's all just adorable. And the color palette is fresh and fun and bright. You can see I put these stripes, and I picked these stripes going across here to sort of look like the roadway. I wanted to sort of have that sense of lots of lines of the highway moving across. Of course, that would have to be probably in a big city like Chicago or LA or something where we have all of those different lines of traffic moving along. I just want to position this better. Just move this, I need to move this over just a little bit. I just wasn't even, but fortunately this glue gives me just a moment to reposition. There, that's just what I want. So now that's going to go onto our card base, and this is Pool Party. Just a great color, and it was so easy to choose colors for this because the colors are all part of the designer series paper, and they're listed on the back and in the catalog, so you don't have to worry about trying to figure that out. It's all figured out for you, and that's, gosh, that's one of the things I just love about Stampin' Up! Is all the color coordination. We're going to go ahead and use dimensionals to put both of these pieces on and get that set, and we are just about ready to finish up this cute card, this birthday card. I think this would be just a happy card that would be so appreciated and so much fun to make. And it's always fun when the cards are easy to make and they're bright and happy and just celebrating that day. I want to put this little piece a little bit above center, so I'm going to put it there and a little over to the right, and then I'm just going to position my little happy birthday right under there, and I'm kind of doing it so it's right on this line right here. So there we go, two absolutely adorable driving by cards with my favorite rainbow, sunshine and rainbow designer series paper. Well, have fun making these and have fun doing all this cute coloring.